can get it, say if you a bad bitch, put your hands up high, hands up high, hands up high. Tell them dim the lights down right now, put me in the mood. I'm talking about dark room perfume. Go.
I recognize your fragrance. Hold up, you ain't never gotta say shit. And I know your taste is a little bit high maintenance. Everybody else basic. You live life on an everyday basis with poetic justice.
All right. Hello. I am your girl Candy, and we are here for 1990s thriller. I'm gonna say comedy because it get kind of funny. Misery. And I'm not alone. I have my what my guest did. I have Torian Rain with me again.
What's
Here
going
to
on?
drop some facts and some dimes and whatever else we're gonna drop. And I got Aries here, and I'm waiting on Miss Kira to come. But we're gonna come here and discuss Misery, guys. If you have not watched it, please do so. I don't know where you've been, what rock you've been up under. If you have not seen Misery, like what have you been doing with your life? I don't know. But I did watch this as a child. A lot of stuff I did not watch as a child, but I did watch this one because my uncle always wanted to have movie night for some reason, and he was military, so I don't know why he thought Misery was good for little children. But this one I did watch as a child, and it became like one of my favorites. Torian, what are your thoughts, and when did you first watch Misery?
I think I first watched Misery. It was definitely as an adult. This wasn't a movie that I watched as a child, but I did watch it like when I was older, and it's a good thing I did because I would have definitely I grasped what was going on in the movie. And let me just tell you, this movie has got to be one of the nightmare defining movies ever made. Like, I would not want to be in a position like that. It literally took the phrase I'm your number one fan and turned it into a horror phrasing. Because that's something that a lot of people will say. I think after this movie came out, I bet a lot of celebrities were scared if their fan told them that. They probably was like,
Right.
But yeah, Misery is a classic. It is a classic film. Stephen King. If, like Andy said, if you've never seen this movie, you are doing yourself a disservice. This movie is definitely good from beginning to end. The performances are like through the roof. I mean, Kathy Bates did her big one with this movie. Like, this is one of those. This is one of those movies that I hope, knock on wood, never gets remade.
It cannot be. Cannot. We cannot remake Misery. And Kathy Bates did do her big one in James Caan as well. What about you, Aries?
I remember my daddy letting me watch this when he's supposed to been watching me back in the day. I definitely know that I was too little to be watching some Misery. And when Annie went and did what she did with this man, I was scarred. I was scarred for life. Okay. I couldn't even walk straight. Ankles was, I don't even remember how old I was. Probably, right. That's how I felt. I felt all his pain. Okay.
Yeah.
And
it was definitely
cringy. But A1 performance. I don't know about any nominations that could have possibly been taking place for this movie, but Kathy Bates and James Caan, they did. Okay, I'm pretty sure.
Kathy Bates won an Oscar for this, which was very well deserved.
She needed that.
Yes,
right.
She won an Oscar for that.
Yes.
This is the movie right here that put her on the map. I don't know if she did any other movies before this, but this is the movie that made her a star. This was her official. This was her defining role right here. So anything that Kathy Bates has done out and throughout the rest of her career, which is a lot, is owed to this role right here.
Oh yeah. She definitely did her big one on this. In this movie, she was very disturbed, and I really did not realize until I watched it again for this reason how disturbed she was. Like, this lady was. She was very disturbed. And I'm going to just say, I'm going to leave it at that. We're going to get into it. Yeah, she was a crazy heifer. Hey, Mo69. Hey, she's always late. Yeah, she was a saint lunatic. Yes. She definitely was. Okay. You can go ahead with the slides. Oh, we have Miss Kira here. Hi, Miss Kira.
What's going on?
Hey, Miss
Hey.
Kira.
Sorry I'm late.
Yes. So I asked them how do they feel about the movie. Well, what are their thoughts on the movie? Like when did they first watch it? So when did you first watch this movie?
I don't know. Maybe high school? Because when it came
Mhm.
out, I was young. I mean, even though I'm old, I was young when it came out. So probably high
Ah,
schoolish.
please.
You know what I'm saying? Okay. And then watched it again in college, and I'm like, this lady is certifiable.
Yeah.
I can't
Yes.
imagine being
So
that into somebody. Like, and I used to read books, but baby, no. Ooh.
yeah,
Mm-mm.
and I love Usher, and I'm not. I love Usher. Down bad, real bad. But it ain't that deep for me. Don't do that, Miss Kira.
Okay.
Lean back. I love him down. Like my baby loves him so much that I rubbed off on her. But let's get into the movie, shall we? So, this was a mistake from the beginning. So when the movie starts out, you hear somebody typing or whatever. You see a cigarette. You see the match. You hear the old typewriter click clack clickety clack 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 clack. And he does his ritual is once he finishes the book, he has his Dom Perignon, he smokes a cigarette, and he drinks his champagne or whatnot. So he gets in his, I forgot what year it is, Mustang, and it's snowing outside. It's like a
like a
snowstorm,
blizzard, like a blizzard.
Yes, and he's in this Mustang, and I know it ain't had no traction control.
No
It had
traction.
none of the things,
Nothing
okay?
whatsoever.
And he gets to riding, and it's like he's speeding. It's like he's what was the name of that song?
I'm trying to think of the song too.
It was the name of the song, and I'm like, damn, did this song make him speed up in this damn little ass car? And I love a Mustang. I'm a Mustang. I got one in the yard now. She ain't looking like that, but we working on her. But because I love a Mustang, but I'm like, sir, why? And then he capsized. He turns, he flips over and whatnot. What are y'all thoughts on this? On the opening? Like the first 2 minutes was pure hell.
The showing of the wine glass, the drink, the match, and the cigarette. Not knowing what we was about to watch was a foreshadowing of what was about to happen because it pops up again much later
Yes.
in the movie. So that was a foreshadowing right there. But yeah, going back to what you were saying, why was he driving reckless like that in the mountains where there's like no guardrail and you're driving like that in a snowstorm? You should have pulled over or something. Let the snow do what it does, because it didn't start out snowing when he left his cabin. It just started to pick up. At that point, that was your sign to stop. But the thing is, he kept his foot on the gas, and as you can see, that the result of the top left picture is what happened, and then the bottom left picture, that's what it ended up being.
Yes.
He's very lucky to have survived that.
Mm-hmm. And he was just riding. I forgot it was called Shotgun, Do the Jerk Baby or something. It was some old song.
Shotgun. That's what it is. Shotgun. Yeah, that was the name of the song.
Well, he was shotgunning it. What's your thoughts?
He was feeling himself. He got done with his book. He like, look, I'm about to sip this wine. We don't know if that's a cigarette or cigar weed. He got on that road, started hearing that music. Oh my gosh, slipping and sliding.
Yes. Hey, P. Bronson. When he moved that item out of place, she knew right away. Oh yeah. You can go to the next one. Yes. So he ends up having an accident. He is, what's the worst that can happen after being rescued by your number one fan? So he's rescued by this lady. We didn't know who it was. She gave him mouth-to-mouth resuscitation. She pulled him out of the wreckage, takes him up the hill, and she's just doing all the things that make you like, okay, somebody's gonna save this man, not knowing what's really going on. Come to find out, it's Annie, his number one fan. His legs are broken. He just beat up real bad.
Yeah.
And she's taking care of him. She's giving him this pain medicine, which I looked it up. It's not a real medicine. It's called Norval or something, but it's not a real medication. This is whatever name they made up for the story, but it's not a real one. But he is being doped up and put to sleep. You know, she's making sure he's comfortable because he got broken legs and
Yeah.
he is tattered and torn. Miss Kira, what are your thoughts on her and her rescue efforts and her shaving and feeding and medicating and, you know, this, that, and the third?
I mean, if we didn't know where this was headed and that this was Stephen King, you would have been like, oh, look at the Good Samaritan. She helped him off the side of the road. She put him over her shoulder and took him home to nurse him to health. But no, the BS was afoot. So yeah, that was my thought.
Yes, I agree. Hey, Reese.
Yeah, I'm with She's Always Late. As strong as she was, she should have been able to carry him down to the hospital. Put him over your back. Trek through the snow. Trek through the tundra since you so hard of a fan. Since you go so hard for this man.
But
Like, it was given the scheme that Todd set up from the very beginning. Now that I rewatch it, I'm like, ma'am, no. She would have been better off not even admitting that she knew who he was.
Yeah.
But what got me though is that how, like, when I first watched the movie, eventually it reveals itself later on, is how did she know where to go to find him? Because they were the only ones out there. They were the only ones out there in that snowstorm. You know, everyone else was inside. But she was the only one out there that went and used that crowbar and got him out of that car.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. And that is strange. Like, how did she know that was him? Or maybe she just was a good Samaritan, and because she's a nurse, maybe that's why. Maybe, you know. Thank you, P. Bronson, for your super sticker. I thank you so much. Mo 69 said she wanted to be a psycho hero in her own story. Okay? Because, yeah, like, she is bananas. Yeah. Okay, you can go ahead, Aries. Slide.
They're looking for Paul.
Yeah, the search for Paul began. So Paul's publicist, I think that's who she is. She is like, okay, he's left the cabin, but where is he? He has not made it here. Have you seen him? And the sheriff, he's a sheriff. He's he's everything. He's like he's everything. He's not looking for him, but he was like, okay, I'll put it on my list of things to do, and he just sticks it on the board. And the wife was like, we got a phone call. So it's like, it's clearly they don't get much business around there, because she was excited about a freaking phone call, guys. But the guy was like, there was nothing strange about the way he left, because he left, you know, he just paid his tab and had his wine and champagne or whatever and left. But he has not made it to New York. And they're concerned. But he's laid up in the bed with Annie. And well, not in the bed with Annie, but Annie got him up in the bed and she's nursing him back to health. If y'all want to talk about that, because I got 1,000 pictures.
Well, let me just say that I like the dynamic between the sheriff and his wife. Those two right there had me dying laughing at some parts in this movie, especially the wife when they was in the truck. He said, when you're with me, you're not my wife, you're my deputy. Well, the deputy would rather be laid up with the sheriff.
Okay, she had that hand on his side, like.
Yes. She was like, yeah, we're gonna get it on tonight, sir. Yeah, you can move on, Aries.
Getting what on exactly? What was they called? He eating them mushrooms or something. Y'all just don't even mind me. Here we go. We got more pictures of Paul and Annie.
Yes, Paul.
This is what Kenny was talking about right here.
Oh yeah, the part in the truck. Yep, in the truck.
Yeah. So she's feeding him soup because one of his arms is broken. But then she gets to talking about a play that happened or took place or whatever, and she goes on about this play so much, she's just looking crazy that she wastes a doggone suit,
And
I'm
blamed it
like,
on him.
yes, and see, look what you made me do. I'm like, yeah,
Oh
no, this did not
man.
make you do.
That
You
was the
just got
first,
off.
and that was the first time he started to experience her other side. That was the first time
Red
the
flag.
audience got to see her other side. That's when it was like, okay, the fact that she crashed out over something like that and then made him feel like he was the one that did it.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, okay, something is clearly off about this woman. And it's almost like when she was talking, she was like, this is why I say her performance was so good, because I can only see her playing this part, because she's like, it's almost like she's having a conversation with him, herself, and some other imaginary figure all at the same time.
Yeah, and it's about cursing. I think this was about cursing. She was like, what I'm supposed to pull up and say, give me goddamn that.
The profanity, she didn't like the profanity.
Yeah, she like profanity. I'm like, but you're a cuckoo bird. You don't like curse words. Okay.
Oh, it's funny you say that, because it reminds me of something that she said later.
Like you're, the cockatoo.
Right.
The cockadoodie.
I love that. That's my favorite.
You cockadoodie.
That's Candy's line, baby, right there.
That is my favorite line.
That was reminding me of Serial Mom. I said, not cockadoodie. We just was watching the Serial Mom with all
Pussy
these
rolls.
extra words.
Right, cereal mom, correct. But so the sheriff and his wife and his deputy are looking for trying to find Paul. He sees a tree had snapped, but it's like, what is this? What's really going on with this tree? So he's trying to go find him down in the snow, but he cannot find him.
And he doesn't go far enough, not realizing that the snow is covering the car, but he doesn't go far enough to see it.
So
just like a movie.
Like, right.
Yeah, because it's like as the camera's panning down, us were watching like, oh, if he only would have went a little bit further.
Right there.
Yep.
No,
but moments where I'm sure.
But the other funny part was when he went down there. Remember, he kind of fell into the snow because it was kind of deep a little bit. And the wife said, "Are you okay down there?" He's like, "No, I'm having a great time." He was so sarcastic.
I thought you saw come help.
Right, like she's frail and little, she can't help him.
Oh, right.
Listen, he wasn't no big sturdy man either. They could have got it done between the two of them.
They both
been
was
all right.
brittle. Brittle as two twigs.
This lady, how she spazzed out on him in the middle of the night.
Yeah, and don't forget about the pig. She brought that pig in there and called the pig Misery.
Yes.
Yeah.
I told you.
And that was a whole hog. That was more than a pig.
That was a hog. She was
right. That was
about her how she lose her mind about the book, about the ending, about Misery dying. Like she wakes up, she want to crack him over the head with the damn plant.
with that wooden chair. And she was that shot though was kind of scary. How like it was like zoomed in her face, and it's like right there. And she was like, "You." She said, "How could you kill Misery? Why did you kill?" And she is shaking the bed, and that's a brass bed. Yeah. She is shaking that bed. She was like, "Not my Misery." He was like, "She just gone away. Gone away."
She is crazy.
I don't know why he didn't know better when he let her read that book in the first place or manuscript. I was like, "Oh, sir."
Yeah, because I remember when it was a flashback scene that when he met with his publicist before he went to Colorado to write the book, he was telling her that he wanted to get away from those Misery books because he had written so many of them. So he basically told her, "I'm just going to kill her character off. I'm just kill her off."
Right.
And then they went back to this, and I said, "Oh, when she reads it, she is going to crash out."
Yeah, exactly. She was pissed. I said, "This lady is bonkers. She's bananas."
Don't let her read it.
This is very disturbing.
Better hope nothing happens to me. Oh, really? Oh, okay. Okay. All right, lady.
But the thing the part that got him though was in the bottom right picture after she crashed out the way that she did. She says, "And don't think about anyone calling to come and get you. Not your publicist, not the sheriff, not your daughter." Or none of that, because I never called them. And just keep this in mind: if I die, you die.
Insane. Look at Aries' face. That's what she said.
And in that food she was making him, everything had spam in it. I'm like, she was feeding him spam and all this high blood pressure food. That man can't move.
Couple noodle. The little Campbell's soup look like. I'm like, did you just drain some of the liquid out and make it some pasta? Like that looked like Campbell's soup.
Right. It's so oily. He used to fine dining, and you up here.
Playing.
Paul done fell out the bed.
Yeah, that's the first time he got out the bed.
But look at them feet.
Candy.
Light. Those
feet are through. Look at them.
Mm-hmm. And it's not even just the feet; it's the whole leg.
Yes,
that's the whole leg. It's the whole lower half.
But he pretends to, of course. So when she leaves for, I'm not sure how long she was going, but he's trying to get out. And he realized the door is locked. He is up TF set, y'all, and she comes and finds him on the floor. She picks him up, put it back in the bed. But she tells him, I have a big surprise for you. And you can go to the next slide, Aries. I tell y'all I got a lot of slides. I got a lot of pictures. Unnecessary. Hush, Kira. Y'all, she brings in a freaking grill in the house. Puts his manuscript in the grill. She sprays lighter fluid on it and on him in the bed.
If he didn't light it on fire, she was going to light him on fire.
I was hoping she caught them curtains being slick. Like that's what you get for bringing that damn grill in the doggone thing. Light your whole shit up.
I'm like, that's carbon monoxide or something. Like
that's what I was about to say, Candy. Whether you burn them or not, you about to take them out.
Yeah. But what got me though, wasn't it a part two where she had the bottle in the bed so he could, use the bathroom because he couldn't go to the bathroom, and she had a bottle. It was, I think it was before this or something like that, and she had the bottle almost like a bedpan. And it was a bottle, and she had the whole urine in his hand, and she kept shaking the bottle in like near the bed. I'm like, I hope that cap is screwed on tight.
I thought that was gonna be all over the bed.
Yeah, I think it happened. I don't think you have it in the slides, but I think it happened before this though.
I don't remember seeing that part
because that's what reminded me. Because what she's doing with the lighter fluid was the same thing she was doing with the urine bottle. With the urine bottle was sealed, but with this she had it open.
This lady's crazy. Why are you pouring lighter fluid on the bed? Now you got to sit there and change. So is he still got lighter fluid on the bed, or did you change the sheet? Like, did you like?
I don't think she ever changed the sheets because there was no more matches with him there outside of that because she took the matches away. She only gave him that one match. And what got me too was when he threw the match onto the grill and it was burning up like that. She was like, "Oh my goodness! Like how did you not know that was going to happen?" Like she was like, "How did you not know that was going to happen?"
Crazy,
she was
right?
Excited.
She's insane. I wanted the curtains to catch on fire. I wanted her ass to catch on fire. I wanted everything to catch on fire. He could have caught on fire too. I ain't even care. Because at this point, both of y'all are insane. Like, for real. And he just looking like,
no, for real.
Finish my book. Let's see. Didn't he say he got out to try to use the bathroom? I don't remember that.
No, she had his legs all bound up in the thing. She wasn't letting that man out to do nothing. He was in that room.
No, but he did get out to like.
You remember this part?
Who you say?
What is this? When she went and got him? When she told him he was going to write that book over and busted out that old ass typewriter and some paper and
with the letter N missing.
Yeah.
Yes, because she got it on a discount. Baby, what? And then he said, "Oh, the paper's
you getting that on a discount, but you mad at the type of paper he used."
Yeah.
Because I didn't think she was going to crash out like that. He's like, "It smudges." She's like, "It's the most expensive. Why would it smudge?" So then he shows her, and then she's like, "Do you need anything?" I thought she would be illogical. Do you need anything else? But no, she was like, "You need a new car. You need a new man. Slow down. Wait a minute."
She's like, because she said because if you want to, I can go and bring the whole store back for you.
Right. After everything I've done for you.
She was losing her mind. I'm like, oh snap. But
I mean, she crashed out.
He took that fork and stuck it in the mattress to put those pills in. Because he was like, I got to dope this bitch up.
Right.
He tried.
Yeah, because I think at this point he was starting to realize something was wrong with those pills that she was giving him. It wasn't just because he was like,
Yeah.
okay, I'm fine, but every time I take these pills, I get exhausted. Like I always get tired. So I think that's when he was starting to figure it out. But the part that got me was when she took that big stack of papers and slammed it on his legs.
Yes, I said, oh shit.
I want to know. I want to know how much of her performance was improv. Because some of the stuff I swear she probably did off script, and I feel like that was one of them.
Yeah.
Just to really sell the scene. Mm-hmm. I wonder if her slamming the papers on him like that was actually not in the script.
And it's a possibility. It's a possibility. I did read where James Caan did not realize he was going to have to be in the bed for 15 weeks. He ain't like that. But sir, you cannot walk. Your legs are like broken.
Right. Like what you thought though? You did read the script, didn't you?
Right.
I didn't realize gonna have me in that bed like that. Mm-hmm. Now this is
oh yeah.
Man, this is when it's getting good. This is when it's taking a turn. I'm not lying, y'all. This movie really had a lasting impression on me as a young elementary, probably school age person. And I was freaking using bobby pins like this, bending them back. I remember I had like tonsillitis or something, trying to make the key. I was supposed to be taking antibiotics for my swollen glands, and I'm doing the pills like Paul was doing. No one, and everybody wondering why it ain't going down. But yeah, y'all, Paul.
He was really trying.
He finally around. Yeah, he done find he basically. Yeah, he used that bobby pin and he turned it into a key to get out. And he went to go get the phone to call the cops or something. And he picked up the phone and realized the whole bottom part of the phone was not there
at all. I said, damn.
You playing with him? She said, "Jack."
And then all this medication she has in her closet. He's like, oh,
that's scary.
I messed up. Yeah, I done messed up. But when
that was reminding me of Gypsy Rose, Mama.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he didn't put the penguin back the right way.
Yeah, he didn't put it back.
I said she's going to notice that. I said she's going to notice that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You can.
It's always facing due west or something. She was saying.
It was do something, child.
Yeah,
do something.
It was a direction.
Paul needs his meds.
Paul needs his pain meds, y'all. He is faking. Well, I know he is hurting because he didn't went through hell and back, going through that house, and that was no small feat of him trying to get through the house, and he's sweating because he's in pain. And well, I'm not gonna say he's in pain. He's been working hard going through the house, looking for stuff, trying to get out. But we do see where the sheriff is with a deputy or something trying to find Paul, and they do see the car. They end up taking the car, and they thinking he's dead or whatever. But the sheriff realizes that Paul did not get out of the car. Somebody pried him out of the car. And I was glad he was paying attention to that because that was very important in, finding him. Even though the other man was like, well, he probably dead. No, he ain't dead. Pay attention. Anybody want to talk about Paul and his pain pills, like Avery's trying to separate the pills and make your own little dust?
You're right, make your own little. Oh man, yeah, I was glad too that the once we had previously seen the sheriff go and searching for Paul, he was just this close. So I was glad that his antennas was up and he peeped that, oh wow, this door was actually pried open. So I'm glad that he wasn't so lackadaisical, because at this point, Paul life on the line. He in here fighting for his life. He in here performing, acting.
Right. I love you.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. This lady is bananas.
Oh my
goodness. We blowing kisses and stuff. Okay. All right. Let's blow kisses.
Not blow kisses.
She blowing kisses, child.
That's
He
what she
told
did.
it.
Yeah, she
He's
did.
catching them.
I need my meds. You know I don't. You know I need my pain pills. You know what I'm going through. I said, oh, he got to act real good.
No, but when
Right.
she came back in the room, though, that part did kind of make me laugh considering what he went through. When she came back and she saw him there, she was like, "Paul, you're sweating with perspiration."
Yes. I'm like, what else is supposed to
Oh,
be? Perspiration.
I'm in here fainting.
Mhm.
Oh, all right. You can go to the next slide.
That's funny.
Yes, Paul. He was catching hell. I'm catching hell. Oh, anybody want to talk about Paul and his writing and this dinner
He's
where he did not?
frustrated. He is frustrated. That's why he had to type out the F word constantly across the sheet because that's all in that moment. That's all the only word that came to mind for him was
Right.
that word right there. But this was the part where she crashed out again and was talking about some story. What was it? What was the story? Was it a play or something like that?
It was a play, yeah.
That she said she saw when she was like a kid or something like that. About it didn't make sense, and how she was the only one that got up. She was the only one that got up and questioned it. And then she said that line, he didn't get out of the cock-a-doodle car.
She is crazy. She is crazy. Oh my God, that lady's bananas.
Being knocked over the wine glass. That was just devastating.
He did all of that, and his plan went to hell.
Foiled.
Question. Do you all think she knew he tampered with her drink?
I always wondered.
I was wondering that too, because he was real hyped up, and she came. It's like, oops. I was like, and then he's staring like,
please, God.
I think she. You know what? Something tells me that she probably did know, and that's why she did that. Just in case, like, because she, you just never know what he could have probably did, because she knows what she's doing, and she knows that he probably wants to get her in any kind of capacity. So she, did that just, to protect herself. And they said, she said, "Oh, I ruined your toast. Can you ever forgive me?" And the look on his face was priceless, because I think we all had the same face.
Yeah, right. You were like, oh man.
Oh.
Can't ask him for nothing else to put no more in there, because I'm sure he shook all his little powder concoction out in that one room.
He put all of it in there. So yeah.
Ooh, his little packet. He hit the bottom of it too. Like, look, we got to get it all.
But she was so like, excited about this book, and she was excited about it. Like, yeah. So he was like, "Let's have dinner tonight. Let's celebrate."
But she's so obsessive, just like when she was talking about the cock-a-doodle thing. Ma'am, if we done burned up the copy where he off the lady, why we got to start from there? And like, why would we just not just get rid of that book altogether? He's just like, that doesn't make any sense. I said, ma'am, you're doing a whole lot. Let this man write this book, write with this lady, and be done with it.
Let him cook.
She was like, no, that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah,
because he jumped out the car, and then that child, oh Lord, nope.
He didn't get out the cock-a-doodle
car. He was mad about that.
Oh, I love that part. I'm like, this lady is.
Oh, here we go. With the dinner.
Oh yeah. So he tried to overdose at dinner table. Excuse me.
And the sheriff was doing his research to catch on.
Yeah,
he trying to reading the book so he could try to put the pieces together.
Yeah, because he was like, what is so fascinating about these books that everybody just buys them, they just fly off the shelf? He was like, let me read and see what's going on. But what got him was, and I don't think I had that picture, when she was about to run into somebody and she yelled at them or whatever, and he knows Annie is cuckoo. So I think when she did that stuck out to him that she may be a culprit in whatever happened with Mr. Paul Sheldon. Because we talked about it.
Because she was rushing, huh? She was rushing trying to get back with that paper.
Yeah. But you got Mr. Sheriff reading the doggone books, not y'all. He all in the bed read.
Doing his research.
Right. All it got the wife on him.
Paul is writing this book. He's chapter 12, 28, 35. He is writing, child. and he is getting that arm strengthened back up. He does
Mhm.
not let her see that he can, lift that damn typewriter up, because that ain't none of her business. Okay. But she said that the story that he's about to leave, and because the story is over and he's getting healthy or whatnot, and she's upset. This lady is bananas. Like, lady, now you're down in the dumps because it's raining and he's about to leave. He doesn't want to be here with me, and I know you're ready to leave. I'm like,
yeah, and the thing is, like I said, she went through so many personalities. It's like when you first see her, she's like all nice and bubbly. Then she crashes out and she turns like mean. Now in this part, she's so depressed. Like she went through like so many stages that to the point where you thought she was probably what's the word I'm looking for? Multiple personality, split personality. And like she pulls out the power tool right there, and she's like sitting there talking to him in a very monotone. And then she said, I think I'm gonna go now so I can go put bullets in it.
Yeah. And then she leaves.
And wasn't she saying something like she was sad about the rain or something? Something made her upset.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, lady,
he's just writing away. And I'm like, damn, he doing all these chapters just to do what he did at the end. I said, shit. But okay.
Right.
But they had to be though, because you see she was like, nah, that ain't it. Try again. Ma'am, it's not up to your standard. It is today, ma'am. That's what I got.
Because do you think at this point he thought that he was going to take her own life?
It seemed like she wanted to end her own life.
Yeah, that's the drift I was getting.
She walked outside in the rain in her pajamas with the tube.
And then got in the car and drove off into the dark.
Yeah, like, where are you going, lady?
Which is something we never seen her do.
Right,
up until this point.
Right. Yeah, and I'm like, okay, this is weird. And then she was like, I know you're gonna leave or whatever, and I don't want you to leave, but I love you, but you don't have to tell me that you love me or something like that. And she was like using these daggum, trigger words to try to make him feel away, but he ain't give a damn. He ain't care. He did not.
He wasn't even trying to play along no more.
Behind out of there,
I'm like, you don't have to tell me you love me. I'm like, no, he does not love you, lady. Calm down. Because no.
And this is the part right here where he really gets now he's really in the rabbit hole of things. Now we find out her backstory about her, and we see that this woman is more unhinged than we thought. Like her whole backstory is dark. I mean, very, very dark. I'm talking about with lives being lost because of her.
Baby,
this is where they always get messed up. Because why are you keeping a memento, a book full of mementos?
And then did she take out her husband? The banker dies, plunges to death.
Well, we know one of them says something about another nurse had died. And I believe she has something. And I believe she has something to do with so she could get that nurse. So she could get that nurse's job. So she could get closer to that maternity.
She had took that person's identity till we got. Then I was like, oh no, it ain't that. But still.
But it says top nurse.
And there's a clipping that says
so.
Falls in quotations. Falls exactly. Yeah, falls.
Yeah.
Right.
And then the banker plunges to his death. So
plunges.
Is she just two-handed pushing people?
And then we see all the stories. And then we see all those stories about those babies losing their lives, and it all goes back to her. So yeah, this woman, while is a nurse, this woman was already psycho.
And they called her Dragon Lady.
They called her the Dragon Lady.
Dragon Lady. I'm like, okay, this lady is bananas.
Ooh.
All these babies are dying. And adults are dying. Like, she takes people out to get ahead. And I wonder why she took her husband out. I guess that's her husband.
I don't know.
She's right. Investment banker Wilkes. Yeah, that's why I'm like, I don't know if she took somebody's name or what.
Wilkes is her last name. So I'm assuming that's her.
It could be her husband. Right. Oh,
Did she say the husband left her or something, too? I don't know. I'm trying to recall.
But Paul has been.
She done told so many lies.
She realized he's gotten out twice. She done doped him up and strapped him down to the bed. Found his knife and
Found his key.
His key,
Ooh.
yeah. You've gotten out of your room. You've been out of your room.
She had injected him with that syringe so he could go to sleep, and then that's when she came back into the room and it was telling you that she found the knife, she found his key, and then she told him that you gotten out the room twice, and she says, I knew that you had gotten out because of my penguin was supposed to face this way, but it was facing that way. Yeah. And then the scene, also known as that scene, happens.
You can go to the next one, Aries, because that's where it is.
All right. Oh, snap. Literally, snap.
Snap.
Woo!
She is called, what is it called?
Hobbling.
Oh, gosh. Kim is called
Hobbling. Yeah.
Hobbling, but it's from the where they were stealing stuff in the old days, some Kimberly gold mine or some diamond mine or something like that.
Yeah, to keep them from running away.
She was telling the story.
Yes, they would break their legs, but she broke his ankles. And she took a sledgehammer. Oh, gosh. That made my knees hurt.
That made my eyes cross.
And then she tells him, I love you.
That made me wonder if, like, she was the reason why his legs was in them things in the first place. Like, maybe it wasn't the car. Maybe the car
right.
over, but like, did she do his legs like that? I don't know. My brain, the first time, my brain was going all over. When she threw that man over her shoulder.
Who knows? She might have done something to him that made it worse, because she could have doped him up.
And you got to think. Weeks have passed already since he's been there. His legs were practically almost all healed. And she did this.
Exactly.
This was arguably worse than what was going on with his legs. This right here caused him at the end to have to walk with a cane.
Yeah.
Even when it was all said and done. But like, this scene right here is probably one of the most iconic scenes ever put in a movie. As crazy as it is, and it is crazy. It's one of those memorable scenes that just kind of sticks with you when you see it. I can only imagine what it was like for people who saw this movie for the first time in the theaters back in the day, what their reaction was when this happened.
Was going crazy. Right. I know they were screaming.
Yes, because I was in here cringy, screaming, and I'm like, ouch, ooh, ooh, ow, ooh, ooh, what happened? Ooh, Lord. And then she told the man, I love you. At the end, after she did that, lady, what? You just broke his ankles.
Certifiable.
And the thing is, they show it. It's going inwards.
I had to get a good picture of it. I had to get it. Oh. And he is in agony. He is in pain. Oh, gosh. Okay, Aries, you go to the next one. She swung like an inch.
Oh, my goodness.
And she did. Just looking at that. Yep.
Yeah, she did. Yeah.
Mama said knock you out.
Oh, God. He stuck his finger up on her. That was too funny to me. And I never noticed that until I watched it recently. I said, oh.
That's at that point, that's all he could really do as a response to her. I mean, there's no other words he really could say. So he said, let me just express it. I'm gonna flip the bird at you.
Yeah.
And then and then after he did it, she was like, oh, he's such a kidder.
Yeah.
This lady is bananas, y'all. She's crazy.
She's like, I'm wearing him down.
So she has to give him another dose of whatever, another syringe, because the sheriff is coming by to visit, because he's putting two and two together, like something ain't right. She dopes him up, throws him. She didn't throw him down the stairs. She just put him down the stairs, and the sheriff just takes his time walking through the house and does not realize Annie is cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, y'all. But when he leaves out, Paul makes a noise with that doggone grill, and the sheriff goes back in. He opens the door, and she pops him in the back.
A hole in the back through the chest. Dang. That part made me jump a little bit when I first saw it.
I forgot that part because I rewatched it. I rewatched it yesterday. I was like, oh.
Yeah.
And it
I
was
was
at
hoping
that
his
point.
wife was gonna try to come find him, but he kept sneaking off and not telling that damn wife
Mhm.
nothing. I'm like, yo,
And it was at that point. I'm gonna be honest. When I first saw the movie, I honestly didn't think he was going to get out of it because the sheriff was the only other, I guess you could say, lifeline that he had to getting
Mhm.
out of there. And when I saw it, I was like, oh man, don't tell me he's actually not going to get out of this.
She's crazy. She's crazy. She's
Ooh.
crazy. But the thing is, the Sheriff was reading the book, and it was a line that he kept reading, and then he saw it in a newspaper clipping that she said, and he put two and two together. That's what made him pull up on her because
right.
he put two and two together. I forgot the verbiage on that newspaper clip. I think I might have a picture of. I'm not sure, but yeah, he I wish he had said something to somebody, but of course he did.
Yeah, he should have told his wife when he
Yeah.
went to the store where she ended up getting him
Mhm.
that paper from, and the guy told him, "Oh, she got typing paper." And he was like, "Okay," and he was like, "That's not strange." I was like, "Drop
Yeah.
some bread somewhere, please."
Mhm. And the quote was, "There is a justice higher than that of man. I will be judged by him." So when he read that in the book, because that's a word from Paul, her ass and quoted that in a newspaper clip. Like, lady. I guess when she was going to jail, that's probably was one of the. I'm like,
Oh my God! Not quoting a fictional novel.
she's crazy. Certified. Certified. Most say love hurts, baby. I don't know if love hurt. It don't feel like that.
I was
I don't
looking at
think
that
that,
when she said that.
and that's not love either.
That's insanity.
Obsession. I don't know.
Yes.
That's something.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see.
Oh,
Oh, okay.
this lady's crazy. Oh gosh. So he finishes the book, you guys, and we're getting to the end of the movie. And when he was downstairs, he ended up getting lighter fluid and he put it in the back of his pants. How she did not feel that back there, I don't know, but you know,
That's what I
you know,
thought. But she went to
it
go
might-
cook. I said, "What did she make him get in a wheelchair by himself?" She's like, "I'm gonna go cook something." I'm just left the wheelchair sitting there. I was like,
yeah. So she gets
The thing is that she I don't think she went down and got him. I think she made him have to crawl back up those
"That's what I'm
stairs
saying."
oh
to
wow.
get up
She
there.
left
So
the
that's why
wheelchair sitting there.
so that's why she wouldn't have felt that lighter fluid. She made him crawl back up those stairs just using his upper body because he couldn't use his legs
Yeah.
and
Right.
get in that
He
wheelchair
only
and will
crawled.
him and probably will himself back to the room. She was like, "Hey, you might as well be able to know how to do it. After all, you got out twice. I mean, if you can do that, then you can do this."
Yeah, you know how to do it now. Yeah, that was crazy though. I didn't think about her making him go upstairs, but that's right up her alley though. That's right up her alley.
Yeah.
She's talking about the book, whatever was romantic in the book, and she want to know if Misery winds up with Ethan or Hawthorne, and he doesn't tell her, of course, but she brings him the champagne, his cigarette, and the match, and the drink, the champagne glass, and he does the unthinkable. He said, "Remember all those years, nobody knew who Misery's real father was?" And he said, "Ain't nobody gonna find out who it is." And she went bananas.
He pulled the Uno reverse card on her. This was the one time that this was the one time in the whole movie where he had a one up on her and she lost it. Like she literally it was at this point I was like, at this point now you have no other choice but to take her out. Like there's no reason to wear at this point. You got to go for it. You got to go to distance with this one. And he did.
No turning back.
He lit that thing on fire and she's on the floor. No, not my Misery. Not my Misery. He took that typewriter up with all his strength and banged that thing on her head. Mind you, that's nothing but pure metal and steel that he hit her with.
Mm-hmm.
She should have been gone.
Yes, she should have been gone after that because she hit her head on that typewriter and it was like,
It was the evil keeping her going. That's
and remember,
right.
And remember, she said she never cussed before, but when she got up and tried to like choke him or whatever, she said, "You lying cocksucker."
Go ahead to the next thing, Claudia.
She said, "I'm gonna make an exception tonight."
This whole fight was,
Here you
I
go.
mean, it was at this moment right here where everything was like, yes, fight back. That's, I mean, at this point, that's
Get
all we
that
can literally
hog.
watching. Like, and then remember, she said she had 2 bullets in the gun, so she shot one of them. One of them hit him, and then the other one went out when he tackled her. And then he, but what got me though was when he took the paper, that burnt paper, and he said, "You want it? Eat it till you choke. You sit twisting."
Yes, he smothered her with it.
He
Ooh,
stuffed
had
that paper
enough.
in her mouth.
Yes, he got her good.
Because that was all, like, that was, I think that was all of us watching it. Because I think watching this, we all put ourselves in his position of, we would have did the same thing. We were him in that moment. He was us in that moment.
Mhm.
But when he used that leg to trip her up and she hit that typewriter and that thing said ding.
It did. It's like,
Sorry.
that was crazy.
No, it really made the sound.
It did. Hey, I wonder if she fell on the missing end.
On the missing
I was
end.
thinking that
Right.
that she got for the discount. She hit that missing kid.
He was like, has my favorite person has 2 N's in their name, Annie. I said, oh. He was
He
like,
played all
Annie.
day.
I was like, okay, Paul. But when he took that leg and swung it and tripped her big ass up, I said, oh, Paul, you.
That part was funny.
No,
Like I said,
the
I'm saying the dinging on the typewriter was the funniest part to me.
But he just had to lay there and get his breath because you just broke this man's ankles again. Like, you just messed him up again. He's back in pain again. And he had to use his body to take you down. Like, he was fighting.
Right.
But he took that hog and clocked upside her head. I said, yes, sir, buddy.
Yeah, because it wasn't over yet. He clawed out of there and she came right back like she was Michael Myers. And the first thing he did was bite her hand. And then he grabbed that metal hog and boom, right in the face. And it was it. But what got me, though, and I don't know if y'all picked this up, when she fell on top of him, he had to let out a wheeze. He said,
a lot of women.
That was a lot of literally dead weight that fell right onto him.
Oh gosh.
Baby, listen.
Yeah, I gotta go back to catch
I
that.
got to go back and watch that.
Yeah, go back. When you go back and look at that part, you're gonna start laughing because he said,
For real.
18 months later, he is walking with a cane. He is in his suited and booted. He's going to meet with his publicist. And he's talking about what he's going to do now. No more misery, no more nothing. He don't want to talk about misery, but she wanted him to write a book about what he went through in that house. And he was like, you really want me to write about that?
You know what? I actually agree with the publicist because that would be a really good story because the thing is with misery, those are always fictionalized novels. Mm-hmm. This right here would be a nonfiction book, like his first nonfiction book. And let me just say that this movie is a double entendre. Because the name of the book is called Misery About a Person, but he literally went through misery in that house.
Yeah,
that's literally what he went through, misery and pain. So if I was him, I would actually write that book. That book would probably fly off the shelves.
Yeah, it would because he went through hell with this lady, and it was like she was overbearing with kindness, but she was cuckoo. Like, yes, you took care of me, you healed me, but then with the one little thing I do that you didn't like, I didn't call your publicist, I didn't call your daughter.
Definitely a red flag. No, that's a red banner, a red billboard.
You just flipped the script like because of
all the red flags.
Paul.
But the thing is, she messed him up so psychologically that when he saw this person walking with the thing, he thought that the waitress was her because mentally she was still there. That man was in that cabin for weeks. Yeah, under her being tortured by this woman. Tortured,
yes.
Yeah, and then
with kindness, like she was being kind, and then she was weird. Like it was she's just cuckoo. I don't. I can't explain it. She's just crazy as hell.
Eating all that nasty food, taking them darn pills. Oh Lord!
And then that meatloaf, he put spam in. She said, "Yeah." He was like, "Yeah, never had that before." I said, "I guess not."
Whoop, whoop.
And then of course the last line of the movie is the witch is coming up to him and saying, you know, I'm your number one fan. I'm like, oh God.
I'm your number
Like that,
one fan.
I said
He
the
was
last
waiting
time
for
a woman,
Misery too.
right, a last time a woman told him that he went through literal misery.
Yes,
Mhm.
literal misery with this fool.
Ooh, no.
She was
Right. That was enough to have Paul get up and pop that lady. Saying that. That's triggering.
Right?
That would have been
That was
mad if he got up and,
to end the movie though. It's like,
yeah.
right.
Can you imagine?
You
Can you
did not
imagine
get
all
that whole
the?
dessert tray.
And you got to think, Paul probably he had to go through physical rehab and mental rehab
oh yeah.
after what he had to deal with.
Yes.
That was crazy.
Definitely.
He went through hell. Pure hell. Pure
Uh,
hell.
and this was back in the day. I kept thinking, so it wasn't no cell phones or nothing.
Nope.
That's why when he
Right.
got himself to that phone and lifted up the bottom, I was like, oh, they're never gonna find you out here.
And the last words he said to her was, "That's sweet of you." She said, "I just want to tell you that I'm your number one fan." He said, hey, "That's sweet of you." I was
Go
like,
Like, don't be a gift around me.
Yeah, it was like, "That's sweet of you." Like, yeah, no, get on through. You know, go
Now
away.
he probably hates bacon.
Go away. Yeah. Listen, I know he does hate bacon. I would too. I would hate bacon. I would hate anything that lady gave me. I would
Right.
want nothing. Okay.
Hog,
Yeah,
any hog.
Well, guys, that's the end of the movie Misery. With our little tidbit, our little, thoughts on it. That this movie is bananas. Misery is one of my favorite movies to date. Let me see if I can get out. Okay, here we go. So what are y'all thoughts on just? I know we talked about it already, but what are y'all thoughts on this? The movie. We can go to Aries Curatorian. What are your thoughts?
I think it's still a good classic. I would hate to see somebody try to remake it, even though I do feel like we see the template, like they use that general number one obsessed fan. We didn't seen that. I'm thinking of like some movies that have done it. I thought of one earlier, but now I done forgot. But yeah, I thought it was great. I was still just as scared and nervous watching it like I did when I first seen it.
Yeah, I agree. Miss Kira.
I enjoyed it. I watched it again. Back in the day, I was definitely a Stephen King fan. Not so much reading the novels, which I mean that's bad, but the movies I enjoyed. So I was like, yeah. When I watched it again, I'm like, this actually has rewatchability. So
oh yeah,
still a classic.
Big facts. Torian.
Definitely a classic movie. It still holds up today. It's one of those movies that you see it one time and you just can't stop watching it because there's so many things that you probably can catch. I know it was like for me, like I was telling you with her falling on him, like I didn't catch that he let out that breath. I didn't catch that the first time I watched it, but when I watched it again, I started laughing so hard because I was like, "Woo, that is a lot of dead." You know what it reminded me of? It reminded me of that episode of 1,000 Ways to Die where that woman laid on top of that guy and he passed away. That's what it kind of reminded me of. But I'm glad that the story played out the way it did. The performers did a great job. James Caan did a great job. Kathy Bates, like. Now that's what you call masterclass acting right there.
Yeah,
that is what you call masterclass act. You know what? I need to go look and see if there's some behind the scenes stuff I can look at, or the making of this movie, because I just want to know. Like, and what I like is that it's such an intimate setting. It's all mostly in that house, in that room, in that bed. They got like, all of it is like literally like right there. I'm sure that when this movie came out, the critics and the reviewers, were going crazy with it. I'm sure the audiences, they probably ate this movie up. I can only imagine how many times people saw this movie in heavy rotation. Like you said, it had a lot of rewatchability. But yeah, Misery is a 10 out of 10 for me.
Yes, I totally agree. It has a rewatchability factor year after year. I can watch it anytime. It doesn't matter what's going on. I can watch Misery. It's one of my favorite movies. I don't like scary movies, and I don't know if this is a scary movie, it's a thriller or whatever, but it's not a scary movie. It's a thriller, I would
Probably a
say.
thriller.
Is it a
Yeah,
thriller?
Like
that's what,
suspenseful.
yeah, that's what
Suspense,
Stephen King
thriller.
does.
I would put it like I would put it like this. For Paul Sheldon, it is a horror movie.
Okay.
If we go by that, it's a horror movie.
Yeah.
It is a
because,
nightmare.
Like, he was rescued by your number one fan. Like, yeah, no. Yeah, we're not doing that. Yeah. And then it makes you think like people that go to the lengths of going to people's houses to like the stars' houses, like what is it called when
That's
they
not invasive at all. The celebrity tours that they do.
no, when they
Are you talking about stalkers?
stalkers, yeah.
I'm gonna say
like,
stalking. Okay.
yeah, like stalking in today's time. But you know, I don't know nobody's going to the lengths of Annie Wilkes, but just the sheer fact that you would stalk somebody and want to follow them every move and go to their house, look through their windows. You want to go in their house and sniff their panties and shit like that. Like that's weird to me. Like
That is.
I love Usher.
That's a personality disorder.
I'm not doing that. Okay. If I live well, he live it. I'm not doing it. I'm not. I ain't one of them people. I don't really care like that, okay? You know, when it comes to it.
And for her to find him and be so obsessed or
Mhm.
found him, like however she didn't came up on the information of where he was gonna be, because I wouldn't.
She said she
it
was
wouldn't be a
watching
stretch to
him.
Mhm.
right.
Because
She
he
probably
discussed his
poured
routine, I
oil
think, in
all
the
over the ground.
article.
Yeah, like she would like when she said his number one fan, she meant it because she said she's gone to his like book signing. She's like looked at interviews. That's how she knew he was going to be there because she said
Right.
every time he writes a new book, he goes to this particular cabin
Yeah.
all the time. And
You can't tell the
she
people all
knew.
your business.
Yeah, that's how she knew. That's how she knew about the cigarette, the Dom Perignon,
Yep.
all of that because
And
he
then
said
she knew
because he
about
said in interviews.
the book that he said he only does one manuscript, and he was like, I got another copy. She was like, no, you don't. This is the only one.
Yeah, I already know you only do one.
You only have one. I was like, damn, Paul.
He tell too
But-
much.
And you got to
Yes.
think this. You got to think this was pre-social media, and she knew all of that
Right.
about him. That means she had to do her extensive research
Mhm.
and have it up in her
She
brain
has
and
shit
remember
the
all of
newspaper
that.
clippings, too.
Exactly. Now imagine if you did this today with social media.
Ooh, you going to jail.
Because you got to think today, everybody puts a lot of this stuff out there for
Going to
everybody to
jail.
see.
You going to jail. You getting locked up.
That digital footprint go crazy. Like, ma'am, we went through your history. Okay, your history is bananas.
Yeah, the digital footprint is footprinting. Okay. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So yeah, you wouldn't be able to get away with this in today's time. She did a whole lot. She did a lot. Damn. She was bananas. And then the fact that you would inflict pain on somebody and then you tell him, I love you. I love you, Paul. What? How? Sway? You just okay? You just sledgehammer this man's ankles, okay? And you doped him up all the time. Like you kept him doped up. You kept him, drugged up and you didn't mind poking him with a needle to put him to sleep to make him be quiet. Like
Now that I think about it, there was an episode of the Wayans brothers back in the day that did a parody of this movie where, because when Marlon, he wanted to be an actor and everything like that. And he had got invited to this woman's house who claimed to be his number one fan. And they did the whole, it literally, like she had a shrine of him and everything. As a matter of fact, the person who played her was, what is her name? She did a lot of comedy movies back in the day. Kim Whitley.
Yeah, Sugar.
Okay.
It was Sugar from Friday.
Yeah. Kim Whitley played her, and even like when they was getting ready to rescue him, she was about to do the hobbling thing. She bought the block out and everything, and everybody in the audience was like, the reaction to the audience was so real because they knew what that was. They was like, oh. Like, and this is a comedy show, so they were like, oh, like because they knew the movie Misery, and she had the sledgehammer, and she was about to go in, but they busted in the door before she was able to take that swing. So yeah, they parody. I remember they parodied the movie in that one episode.
Yeah, that's crazy, and I don't think I've ever seen anybody do anything close to this movie. Any movie that's close to this. Y'all, y'all can think of any movie that's close to Misery?
I mean, they have stalking movies, but nothing like
Right.
this.
It would have been
Not on this
obvious.
level.
Yeah.
It
Like
would have
the
been too obvious.
snow,
They'd have been like, no, you didn't just knock off that whole movie.
like the snow,
Right.
the snow is what really saved, what really kept him in the house because of the snow, and he had no reason to not believe she couldn't call out because of the snowstorm, but she could still drive the town. You know, she was still able to drive
Right.
the town and get all the essentials, get a whole typewriter, go to get a paper, go back to get paper.
But don't take me
But-
to the hospital though.
But you can't
But
take
don't-
right.
Yeah, you ain't no urgent care back then, but ain't no Dr. Doolittle around there. No.
ER or something.
Listen, no, Dr. Doolittle would have been there to talk to the hog.
Ooh,
Right?
But he could fix my leg, my foot, my he could do something.
you
And
know
then the
something.
thing is, she was such a good liar. She was like, yeah, and I talked to the doctor, and then he was like, long as no infection was setting in, everything probably is fine. It should be fine. I'm like, this lady sat here and gave this man a whole rundown, a whole conversation she had with a doctor.
With nobody.
Yeah, Kira. Mental. You had a whole conversation about something that didn't even happen.
Just talking to yourself.
Yeah. And he kept saying, like, my daughter's birthday is tomorrow. My daughter's birthday is tomorrow. And she didn't give a flying flu about that. She didn't care. She was cuckoo. She was cuckoo. Yeah. Well, guys, I want to thank everybody for coming through. She's always late. Lemon Kush Pepper, Mo 69, Shayna. Thank y'all for coming through. Who else? P. Bronson, thank you, and thank you for your super sticker as well. Who else came through? I think that's it. And I thank Torian, Miss Kira, and Aries for joining me.
No problem.
Talk about this fantabulous, insane, crazy movie. What movie we doing next? We talking about the hand that rocks the cradle? Rocking a cradle?
Oh,
that's
yeah.
that's another wild movie right there. All I keep thinking, the minute you said the hand that rocks the cradle, all I keep thinking about is that glass house scene, that garden house scene.
Man.
That scene right there was crazy. I was like, oh, and the fact and what got me is as she's watching it, she's looking at it with a stone cold face while eating an apple off of a knife. Anybody who eats an apple off of a knife is crazy.
Yeah,
they are certified psycho. Whoever eats an apple off of a knife is crazy.
Yeah.
But one thing I did like about this movie though is that it was a black man that saved the day. Shout out to Ernie Hudson.
And he was special.
And he was special.
Yeah. Right.
Listen, and he was
man. Representation.
Okay. Listen, don't play with him now. Don't play with it. No.
I was so mad when she called him that word. Though. I'm not gonna say it on here, but you know what word it begins with an R, and she called him that. And I was like, oh yeah, it's time to knock her out the window, and that's exactly what knocked her off that window when she landed right on that white picket fence.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Then she hit that little girl undies.
But you know what? I got another one for you, Candy. Candy, I got another one for you. If you want to do after the hand of Rasta Cradle, Fatal Attraction.
Yes, with that rabbit. She
with the rabbit.
Another great performance by Glenn Close. Another great performance, and her and Michael Douglas.
Child and took that child to the fair.
Yep. That bunny boiling scene is like when I first saw that, I was like, I couldn't even look at rabbits the same. It's like when I was young and saw that movie, because I saw it at a young age, and you know, when you're a child, you're so innocent. I wanted to go and save all the little rabbits. I was like, no, go get the rabbits. They're gonna put them in a pot. Like that's literally like the thing that's going through my mind after I saw that movie at such a young age. Yeah. But what got me was when she was on the roller coaster with the little girl, and she's sitting there smiling the whole time while on a roller coaster.
Right.
Who smiles on a roller coaster? Okay, unless you know the camera is right there, you go fake a smile right quick to take a picture.
Right.
It's the fact that she just held that stone smile, like almost like she was a mannequin. Like she had like no emotion, just that smile.
Crazy, Miss Kira.
But yeah, Fatal Attraction is a classic. And I remember Glenn Close said she was saying in interviews that men were thanking her for saving their marriages because they was getting ready to cheat on their wives. But after seeing that movie, they said, I'm staying at home.
No.
Oh my God.
No.
That's a good reason not to do it. Dang, that's
Probably
funny.
couldn't date after that either. They were like, nah, ma'am.
Yeah.
Go on over there.
Well, guys, we're gonna go ahead and wrap this thing on up. Yeah. YouTube world, thank you for being here on the replay gang. Put if you got some pigs, put a pig in the chat if you made it this far.
Not a pig.
Or a flame in the chat.
A big hog.
A big hog, a giant hog.
Yeah, put a hog or a pig in the chat if you made, or some slices of bacon or something, to let us know you came through. Thank y'all for coming through. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Love you. And we're gonna be out of this thing. Peace out.
Peace.